I'm sorry if you can hear that. One of my neighbours has decided to have a party. Again. For like the 50th time this lockdown. Anyway, aside from the apocalypse party, the party-ocalypse, whatever the fuck, it's coming up to the 3rd anniversary of my diagnosis, and I thought it would be interesting to kind of explore my life pre-diagnosis and post-diagnosis and see what's changed, if that makes any sense at all. I mean, some people may find this interesting, but personally I just thought it would be an interesting thing to do. But, you know, you never know. This is specifically my experience. Everybody else's will be different. The methods of getting diagnosed might be different. What happens to you after you're everything's different. It's different for everybody. You get the picture. I'm not explaining more. So I started to get sick in sort of February, March 2016 when I was 19, and I'm currently 23. So it took me about 9 months plus for me to get from being referred to the rheumatologist to seeing a rheumatologist. And that was after being expedited by the doctor twice. Lovely. During that time I was put on basic medication, so not the kind of fancy, the more pick a song. The more advanced, the shit you have to go through, the basic shit to get on the other shit. You know what I'm talking about, like pregabalin, gabapentin, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I was put on fluoxetine and tramadol, which may work for some people, but did fuck all for me. It didn't work at all. I should try and swear less, shouldn't I? They may work for some people, didn't work for me. And, you know, I wasn't allowed to try other medications that may have been more suitable for me until I'd seen the rheumatologist and had my diagnosis of whatever they were going to diagnose me with. Fibromyalgia, by the way, FYI, in case you didn't realise. That sounded very sarcastic. That's not me, that's just me. So during that time before my diagnosis, I was pretty ill, to put it lightly. I could barely leave the house. My version of socialising was my friends coming around to my house. I had a lot of trouble leaving the house. You know, I'd leave the house and I would be able to... Going outside to properly socialise would mean that I wouldn't be able to leave the house for like another week. So I was very lucky that I had friends, like, you know, that would actually come round and spend time with me, and it made it all so much easier, and it helped my mental state a lot to actually have that kind of social connection. Also, I would like to point out that pre-diagnosis, before I was on some of the more advanced medications, I did have more flare-ups because I wasn't on those. It was pretty devastating for a 19-year-old to go from this really kind of socialising in uni, going to parties, having friends, to not being able to leave the house. That kind of sucked, but that's in the past. Don't dwell on the past, because it's not going to change. I finally got my rheumatologist appointment, and it was for the 20th of July 2017, and I was very hyped but also very nervous. It was, you know, the nerves of possibly being diagnosed with something that is permanent, that will never go away, versus the diagnosis of the process of actually getting a diagnosis that's quite validating, because you have people saying, oh, you know, it's on your head, you just need to get over it, and then an actual, like, fuck's sake, pick a song, then an actual doctor is there saying, this is real, this is actually a thing, it's not in your head, which is brilliant. So on the 20th of July 2017, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and the doctor recommended a few different medications that I could try, such as pregabalin, gabapentin, etc., etc. The first year sucked. The first year of diagnosis, diagnosis-versary? diagnosis sucked, because I was pretty much a guinea pig trying different medications to see what would work for me. I tried fluoxetine, duloxetine, amitriptyline, tramadol didn't help. Before I was finally put on gabapentin, started at a lower dose, went up to the dose that I am at now, and sertraline, again, starting at a low dose, going up to the dose that I am now, as well as other things for other bullshit. So far I've found that the medications that I'm currently on have worked really well for me. I have less flare-ups now. They're still as bad when I get them, but they're less in quantity. I have them less frequently, unless I do something to cause a flare-up. Like, go to a party, shit like that. I found that with the medications I'm on, I'm able to go back to university. It's not, I do miss a few classes. I'm able to make it up online and get all the resources I need, but, my lecturers have been very understanding, and hopefully I'll be able to get my degree next year, which would be awesome, unless my health gets in the way again. I've been on a pain management course. I went on EPP Cymru's Living Well with Pain course last year, and I found it helped me manage it a bit better. I think it would have been better if I'd gone on it, just as I was getting sick, because I've learned and discovered a lot of the processes that they teach you. So I think that'd have been quite useful for somebody who is just getting sick. Mind you, I know people who have had a long-term health condition for a while and they learn things from it, so it just depends personally, but that's completely off the subject. Overall, I think quite a few things have changed in the last 3 years. I'm able to be more sociable. The medications I'm on have helped a lot. Oh, the light's back. Awesome. I feel a bit sad when I look back and think about how I was and the fact that I took that for granted before I got sick. Being on the medications that I'm on currently, having been through the guinea pig stages and getting things upped and trying different things and having all the side effects and all that, has meant that I'm able to kind of do more things. I can function a bit better. I can, leave the house when there isn't a lockdown. But it's pretty cool to see how my health conditions changed. I'm nowhere near better. There is no cure for fibromyalgia anyway, but I'm able to go back to university. I can do things. I can function like a regular human sometimes, which is nice. I also wanted to consider what my goals would be for next year, for my 4-year diagnosis-versary. That's a thing now. I think I'd like to kind of continue doing what I've been doing in regards to trying not to let my condition hold me back, try and be more proactive, try and get involved in more things, which is what I'm currently trying to do, trying to do more projects. And I don't know, I kind of like the idea of trying a new hobby outside of my comfort zone as well. I'd like to be more socially active and try and get to the point that I was before I got sick. I mean, I know that's going to take some effort and a while, but I would like to get some kind of symmetry in my life now to how it was. I also want to go on another pain management course with a friend of mine who also has a long-term health condition, so that we can do it together and we can support each other just like we did in the first one. And I'd like to continue progressing with getting my life back on track. I'd like to continue with progressing with getting my life back on track. Or on a similar track to how it was. Even though, I was diagnosed with a long-term health condition, because of it, I have been able to make new friends. I've made a few through my condition itself, and they're worth the world. So, and my hand is shaking because of the fibro. That shit. This is another thing that happens with my fibro. Yay. Excuse me, do you mind? Can we just put you down? Yeah, I've built a good support system over the years as well, with my different friends and my family as well. I mean, my mother and my stepfather have been amazingly supportive. I know that it will never be completely back to where it was, but somewhere similar would be nice. Anyway, that's it for my rambling in this video about random stuff. I had somewhat of a plan. I had a little bit of a plan. It's fine. Went off track at points, but that's my life. Anyway, stay safe, stay hydrated, wear a mask. Please wear a mask. And have a cup of tea. Because why not? Anyway, till a bit.